An estimated 1.7 million women in the UK suffer with chronic urinary tract infections.
Yeah, so back in May, Labour MP for Stoke-on-Trent South, Allison Gardner, bravely told Westminster about her battle with the debilitating condition.
I've suffered from UTIs as a result of menopause for over 10 years and I received a diagnosis of chronic UTI in 2023. I don't think that many people realise just how debilitating and excruciating this can be. At my worst, I really wondered how I could go on. I even changed jobs from a beloved lecturing job to one at night because I wanted to change things from within. And it's why I'm an MP now, by the way, where I have tried almost everything. I was even considering, as a final step before the final step, of having my bladder removed.
Alison, it's seeing that and seeing the honesty of it, Alison, I think that really touches people.
There is something about UTIs and the illness. I'm going to set off again already. I'm terrible.
Don't.
The honesty that you have, but the pain is incredible, and how it just takes over your life, it takes over your mind. And the thought, before I met Kat, of if this is all that is my life's going to be, and I'll be very careful how I say things, but, you know, I really felt like I could not go on, and I had to do something desperate. And I am the luckiest person that Kat literally worked round the corner from me, and I found I would have sold my house to get funding for treatment, but she was round the corner. And I do credit that she saved my life, and I can manage the condition now. But, you know, it's a managed condition. And I have to be honest with you, I live in fear of maybe a day when it flares up and completely, and I never come back again to normality. But luckily, you know, I have a good doctor.
Dr. Kat Anderson.
Dr. Kat, hearing Alison talk so passionately about it, I'm sure is not unusual for you, but some of the things that she's described, like she felt like she was on fire, that she was actually considering having her bladder removed just to try and get past it. That's not unusual for you to hear that from when it comes to you.
No, not at all. And I've had many patients where I'm so relieved that they get to me before they have their bladder removed. I've had patients who are on the waiting list for it when I say, please, just give me one more chance to try and get on top of this, what I feel is infection, which sometimes has not actually even been proved to be infection yet because it's not been put through the appropriate tests. And we find the bugs by doing better testing, and then we put them on the most appropriate treatment pathway, and then their symptoms melt away. Now, it's not quick. You know, it can take months and months and months. But I've had so many patients say, oh, my life, I was going to have my bladder removed.
And it really was that desperate, wasn't it, Alison? Tell us a little bit about the point where you were at your lowest.
Well, part of it was, I mean, COVID happened, so we were working from home, and I knew I had to go back to work, and I cannot get off the sofa. And in my case, I'd lie there. I don't want to be too graphic, but, you know, I'd have bags of frozen peas on myself because the severe cold would help. And I spoke to some sufferers, and they even would pour boiling water over their legs because the pain of that was less than the pain of the UTIs, and then what it mentally does to you. And it just becomes all you think about. And there's something strange about UTIs that does affect you mentally as well. And you know, and I'm actually a trained molecular biologist. So, you know, I did the research, I read the articles, and I was just saying to Kat earlier on, you know, I knew that I needed longer antibiotic treatments. They give you 3 days. It's not enough, and I do truly believe that all I was doing was breeding antimicrobial resistant bacteria for UTIs, because I was clearing maybe 70% of them, but the remaining 30% then was still there, and then I'd go on the journey of recurrent UTIs, and then eventually it just became all the time. And it rules your life, and people can't work.
No, of course. I mean, if they're putting themselves through that much physical pain to try and distract themselves, it's terrifying. Doctor, why is it being treated in a way that is not helping any of the people that are suffering?
Sadly, we haven't got a lot of investment into the research around this area. The 3-day antibiotic rule came based on data, the only real data available, and it wasn't terribly high-quality data. And to be honest, even the main studies that this was based on, they acknowledged that 5 days of antibiotics was better at eradicating the bacteria responsible for the urinary tract infection. But because a lot of women felt symptomatically improved at 3 days, they said, well, if they're feeling improved and we've got to balance this against what if they get side effects, let's go for the 3 days. But if you look at how other patient cohorts are treated, you know, pregnant women or men, they automatically get 7 days. And we all know as GPs that we will have those patients who you give 3 days and they just come back. They come back, they come back, and yet give them a 7-day course and actually you're onto a better wicket. And really, this is just talking about acute UTI, you know, flash-in-the-pan UTI. When we're looking at patients who get recurrent or worse than current, persistently recurrent or chronic UTI, they require even longer courses to get that break in the back of the infection to lead to the symptoms relieving.
But there are new drugs that are becoming available, aren't there?
There's a very exciting one that's just end of August. We had the MHRA approve a new first-in-class drug. And to be honest, this is the first new antibiotic in UTI for 3 decades. So it's a very, very exciting antibiotic.
Yeah.
It's one that works by inhibiting 2 different enzymes that bacteria use to become resistant to antibiotics. And so the chances of the bacteria managing to become resistant to it are much, much lower. It's called gepotidacin. It's called Blujepa, its packet name. It was approved in the FDA in the States a little while ago, and we have just got the approval, but we're not yet able to prescribe it because we have to go through our NICE protocols first. And so NICE have to examine all the evidence, but it is great quality evidence. It's really, really good.
This is what NICE have said to us. NICE guidance and quality standards make evidence-based recommendations for the NHS England in a wide range of topics based on the best available of evidence of clinical effectiveness and cost-effectiveness. We published an update to our recurrent UTI guideline following a public consultation in December 2024. These aims to support people with recurrent UTIs, the families, the carers, provide advice and information for health professionals. We regularly review and update our guidelines. Are they guidelines that you've seen?
Yes, I worked at NICE and they came out, so I have to be honest with that, and I did speak to them about it. But what worries me is this clinical and cost-effectiveness balance, because, you know, it's making that balance between the two and the quality of life that people have. And if they look at the cost and says, well, the cost of a 3-day treatment will affect 70% of women, you know, a 5-day treatment costs more and it will do that. And so they have to do that balance. But the argument that I am making is that in the long term, you are not measuring the cost effectiveness if these conditions become recurrent and chronic, and the cost of the NHS is huge. 50%, I think, of I shouldn't say stats really, but a large majority of A&E visits are to do with UTIs. A large amount of sepsis cases are to do to UTIs, and sepsis-related deaths are due to UTIs.
It is the commonest occurring bacterial infection in women.
Yes.
And I will say about the new antibiotic, sorry, Kat, that this is for uncomplicated UTIs. So I'm allergic to 2 of them, nitrofurantoin and trimethoprim. I wish they'd pick easier names. I can't even spell nitrofurantoin. So I'm very pleased about it, but whether it will affect women with chronic UTIs, I don't know.
Right.
We're going to have to leave it there, I'm afraid, ladies. Just got to say the NHS England spokesman said too often the NHS we hear of women whose health concerns have been dismissed, and we're actively addressing this through education, training, improving our services, women, including establishing women's health hubs in local communities. The hubs can give thousands of women access to specialist support closer to their homes. So go and search out one of those health hubs if anything that you've been hearing resonates with you as well. Thank you both for coming in this morning and being brave to talk about it so publicly as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.